Now, this is the next phase, and it's the most critical, probably, I'd say, of all the elements of health and well-being, and it is stress management. Why do I say that? What about exercise? What about nutrition? Let's bring it back. If our stress levels are high and we're not controlling our stress levels, guess what? We can't sleep. If we don't sleep, our hormones go all out of whack. And look at one of the next videos in this series and you'll find out a bit more about sleep management as well. But if your sleep's poor, guess what? You're not going to go to the gym the next day because you don't feel energized, you don't feel rested. You're going to have a bad day at work, you don't feel mentally sound, and you start making bad nutritional choices. So everything stems back to that stress management. And it's vitally important because it's very unlikely that anybody on this course or most people in the world are living a stress-free, relaxing, chilled life. There's always something on. Work's obviously going to be the height of that pressure. Family scenarios, global pandemics, all sorts of things are going to be bring into play to increase those stress levels. And we know that stress is bad for our body, not just the elements I've discussed, but physical things. We get headaches, we get tension, we get muscle pain, we get fatigue, chest pains. All of these upset stomachs, not good at all. And the problem is as well, we get longer term chronic issues as well. We get issues with hormones, our stress hormone, cortisol. Too high, too long, not a good outcome. We like it for short term things. It wakes us up in the morning, beautiful first thing, and it's our fight or flight response. So at times when we need that extra burst, it's there, but it should be temporary, not all the time. If we're constantly in that stress position, your body shuts down, it starts doing fat storage side of things, your metabolism's all affected, and a lot of other things. So we want to manage that. And we don't want things like ulcers or high blood pressure or these sort of things. So we want to reduce that stress. How do we do that? Easier said than done. First of all, let it go, ditch the haters, try and stay positive. So big thing, try not to associate with people who are always negative or who are beating you down or are always cynical or not helping you with your mindset and your well-being day to day. Difficult in the workplace because some of these people were forced to together with and forced to work with. So with those, always try and be mindful of that type of person. Try and purvey a positive mindset. Ask them why they are being negative or always down on things. Yep, everyone's in a negative situation at certain times, but they don't need to be imparting that onto other people. Ditch them, get rid of them. Onto that as well, it's not just people, it's other elements, other influences that are beyond our control. Now, Stephen Covey, who you may know, he wrote the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. One thing he talks about a lot of is the circle of influence. Now, the circle of influence has 2 elements. You are either inside, and this is the circle of influence, or you are outside. These are the things around you, the circle of concern. What we want to do is be controlled, or rather be mindful of your circle of influence, because the circle of influence, these includes the things that we can control, we can have an influence on, and we can change the outset of. So these things are who you are, who you voted for, books you read, courses you take, things you say, what you buy, what you do, where you travel, how you spend your free time, where you work. All of these you can control. Things outside of that, personal lives of celebrities or your colleagues, your friends, the weather, other people's religions, beliefs, the economy, internet comments, social media, politics, all of these things. These are outside of your control. So what we want to do is we want to go delineate, is it in or outside of our circle of influence? If it's outside, guess what? Ditch it and get rid of all that stuff. And then there'll be a number of ways you can do that. So if it's things like social media and that sort of thing, get off the social media or be very choosy of what you're looking at or how often you're looking at it. Things like that. Whereas the things inside your influence, are you concerned about them? If so, change them and focus your energies more towards that, because you can make an influence and you can make a change. So that's where you really want to be, and trying to focus on that. Small, consistent actions in your circle of influence. And it's all about your focus. What does Tony Robbins say? Where focus goes, energy flows. So it's a nice option. It's a nice situation to be in. So ditch the things that you cannot change, cannot have control over. What else? Exercise. Exercise is brilliant. Yeah, not only to get us fit, improve our cardiometabolic condition, improve and develop our strength, muscle stability, balance, blah, blah, blah. If we move daily, guess what happens? We feel better. We release endorphins. These are our natural feel goods. We feel relaxed. It naturally sets us, calms us down. It helps us sleep. If we've done a hard session during the day, as long as it's not 10 minutes before bedtime, it's going to help us sleep. It's going to get that stress out of us. Really good thing. Actually, something I see often, clients will come in, especially if it's lunchtime or end of the day, super stressed. I've got a lot of corporate clients, so they'll come from their high pressure jobs, come and see me. You can see it. They're gritting their teeth. They're tense. It's nothing to do with anything I've done, which is good. But what happens is I can see that stress. And what happens is at the end of that session, we have a nice, solid session, and it releases that tension, releases that anguish or all that tension, and they're feeling much better at the end of it. Or if it's really extreme, guess what? We'll do some boxing, we'll do some heavy activity, heavy lifting, that sort of stuff. Really gets the tension, really gets the anxiety out of the system. You then go back to work. You don't throttle the person that made you tense, your boss or your colleague, and you relax for the rest of the day. And also, exercise can be very sociable as well. Do it with friends, do it with colleagues, clients, people like that. It's a nice way of meeting people. You see the same people in the gym, or when you're doing your run, or doing your yoga, or you're exercising in the park, and it's a nice way to be social. Talk to people who are not your normal work colleagues or friends and that sort of thing, and it's a nice way to interact. What else? Nutrition. Eat clean, eat regularly. Don't eat too close to bed, and make sure you have lots of fiber. There we go. They're the basics of nutrition. A good diet, a good nutrition makes us feel good. We don't have our hormones going up and down. It improves our cardiovascular conditions, our blood pressure. It eases our stress. It calms us. We don't get issues with our stomach, bowels, all of those sort of elements, and it keeps our energy levels consistent throughout the day. So it's very important that you consider nutrition as part of your stress relief. If we're not eating, or we're eating sporadically, your energy level is going to be over the place. You get hangry. It's a real thing. I've seen it. I sometimes am myself. And we're going to be stressed. So manage that nutrition nice and calm. Hydration. Guess what? Most of us is water. So we want to make sure we're hydrated. The dehydration can lead to things like hypertension, high blood pressure. The brain doesn't work properly. We feel dehydrated. We're not energized, and increases our stress levels. It weakens your adrenal glands. So we don't want to be in a position where we're getting adrenal fatigue. Drink water. Drink plenty of water. Half your body weight in ounces is how much you should drink today. Have a bottle every day. Have a bottle on your desk, on your table. Now that bottle is water. It's not booze, and it's ideally not high calorie energy drinks or cola based drinks and that sort of thing as well. Keep the hydration up. Drugs. Let's not rely on drugs to get us out of our stress or that sort of thing. So easy on your caffeine. Yeah, it increases our tension, our blood pressure, that sort of thing. Nicotine, alcohol, it affects how we work, how we sleep, how we react, and that sort of thing. Sugar, what else? Over-the-counter pills, that sort of thing. It doesn't help with fluctuating. Try not to rely on pills to help you sleep, or caffeine to then wake you up. You become quite dependent. So if you are taking things like that, try and gradually ease off them. Take up something more healthy instead. Exercise, for example, good option. Big one, this, ditch the news. No news is good news. There's nothing more stressful than watching the news. Guess why? Because the news channels, the papers, they want to sell stuff. Yeah, they want to sell papers. They want to sell advertising. They want to sell scandal. They want to sell all of these things that are not necessarily useful to us. We don't need to watch the news every day. We need to keep up attention on certain things. keep abreast of certain conditions, or depending on what industry you're in. But we don't need to see stuff all the time, particularly tabloid stuff. Yeah, it's not helpful. It's sensationalist, and it's often not even true. So ignore that. Ignore the scandals and sensations, and ease down on your media consumption. Choose good quality media sources. Avoid the fake news. Heard that before. Devices, control your devices. Devices are useful, yeah. Our iPhones, our smartphones, our TVs, our computers, they're an essential part of our day-to-day life, but they can overwhelm us. They can rule our world. Anything beeps, vibrates, we're quickly checking it, yeah? Your watch even vibrates and updates you on stuff. We're constantly on, constantly on. So take the time to turn off. So choose an end of the day time, and then ditch everything. Turn off your phone, especially if it's work stuff coming in. Avoid those alerts and beeping things. Turn off notifications. Hide all the fun stuff on your phone so that you can actually turn it off, put it down, relax, read, meditate, something like that. And especially in the evening, a couple of hours before bed, turn everything off. Don't look at your phone in bed. The light wakes you up with the it boosts melatonin, not serotonin, which should be, or the other way around, which aids in your sleep. It makes you wake up with the blue light. So ditch that and calm the mind before bed. Turn everything to sleep mode and don't look at too much social media. And to that end, turn off. How many times a day do we do nothing? Do we turn every electronic device off, just relax and chill? Meditation's a good option. Now, meditation doesn't have to mean we spend hours and hours umming and ahhing and practicing a lot of spiritual elements. You can, by all means, and you may have some experience in that. If you've never tried it, it can be as simple as doing nothing. There we go. I did nothing there. Long time since we've done that, yeah? 5 minutes of doing nothing. Turn it off, hide from the kids, stop the dog barking, and do nothing for 5 minutes. Nice and calm, relaxed and chilled. Now, this one shouldn't be underestimated. Friends. Friends are good. Hang out with other people. Chat to them. Discuss your problems. Discuss your issues. Nothing better than that to reduce that stress. Get another opinion, particularly if the other types of people you've been hanging with are stress heads, or they have lots of dubious opinions, or they up your stress levels. Speak to other people. Relax, calm, hang out with them. You don't have to manage these things alone. And you get that second viewpoint and a nice opportunity to vent your issues and calm down. It's a very nice option. Another one that's very underestimated is planning. So we can often come home, we're super stressed, and we then can't sleep or that sort of thing. Planning's the biggest thing, because when we don't want to go to bed because we're worried about things, we try and finish things off, or in the night we're thinking constantly about the tasks of the next day. So have your to-do list. In the evening, plan your tomorrow. So what do you need to do? What are the priorities? Put your top 2, 3 priorities on there. Top of the list, you know you're going to do them, schedule it in the calendar, relax, you know you can do them tomorrow. You don't have to do them now. And you're planful and ready. Plan your day, make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Don't put a million things on your to-do list, 1 or 2 big ones, yeah? Block your calendar out when you need to do work that we need to concentrate. Don't have that stress all the time. Turn off your email alerts. Don't let people constantly call you or private message you at work. Allow yourself time to do what you need to do, and you're not constantly being interrupted. Say no to stuff. Yeah, you don't have to do everything. You don't have to please people. Is it a business priority? No. Guess what? I can't do it. Or if this is essential, your boss is asking you, say, okay, well, I can't do everything on my list of 1,000 things. What can I swap it with? What can I do instead of this? Or who else can take this load off me instead? Sleep, do it. It's vital. The less sleep we have, the more our stress levels are high, and we then can't be put in a correct position where we're minding and reducing our stress. Also, if we don't sleep, cortisol levels are high. I've talked about that. Other hormones, leptin, ghrelin, these are the things that tell us when we are full, we've had enough food, or we're hungry. If they're out of whack, we make poor decisions. We eat too much, we overeat, we undereat. We don't know when to eat properly. So mind your sleep. Of course, it's linked to your stress, but what we don't want is a vicious circle. So put yourself in the best position with sleep. Sleep at the same time every day, whether it's the weekend or the week. Get up at the same time every day. Nice conditions in your room, calm, quiet, dark, cool, no electronic devices, no pets jumping around, yeah, no noise, that sort of thing, to put yourself in the position where you have the most opportunity to rest. Okay, I'll leave it there. Few opportunities for you with your stress management. I'll put in some links to some other resources as well. Stress Buster Guide. I've got a couple of series and ebooks that will help you with your stress management as well. Have a look at those. Enjoy your day. Keep it calm. Keep it stress free. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.